check it out, see if they would be interested in subscribing. That'd be so awesome. So you can see right here where you can follow me, soaringarrowshs.com. There's a Facebook page, Twitter, which I've got a little... Oh, thanks for sharing. Awesome. Instagram, I have a little spelling error there. Twitters.com. But you guys know. So, yeah, right? I thought I had it right. Homeschool mom, fail. So, as you guys come on in, go ahead and say your name and maybe say where you're from. That would be wonderful. If you want to invite followers, maybe just invite your own followers if you've checked your follower list lately to see, hi Angel, to make sure that we don't have any spammers or trolls pop in. That would be absolutely great. Mine has been pretty clean too. It's pretty great. Hi Olivia. If you guys want to, maybe go ahead and let me know how old your kids are. Sarah, awesome. Interested in Sonlight, yay. I'm very excited to be sharing this curriculum today. I haven't used it in a couple years, but I'm preparing to use it again with my 6-year-old and my 4-year-old in the fall. So we are very excited, and I've been going through everything. So yeah, here I'm going to go ahead and give a overview, of all the books that we're going to be going through. Oh, wow. So yeah, you've got a house full. That's awesome. So yeah, here's all the piles. I tried to get it somewhat organized before getting started. Okay, awesome. A 3-year-old and 1-year-old twins. Fantastic. Awesome. All right, well, I'll go ahead then and flip it around. We'll just kind of see. Okay, I'm going to go a weird angle here. There we are. So yeah, we'll go ahead and see if anyone else pops back in. All right, awesome. Hi. Well, okay. Aw, boy and girl twins. How fun is that? Awesome. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, perfect. Awesome. So if you guys weren't here at the beginning, I am Melissa, or MJ, as I'm going by on my blog at Soaring Arrows. So if you guys want to join me on my blog, that'd be awesome. I did a post this week about Sonlight, the preschool one, and I also did a Periscope on it a couple days ago, which is kind of what inspired this one. So many people are interested in Core A. They wanted to hear about it. Awesome. So, I'm not an expert, really. I've only put my 3rd grader through, so far, 5 cores. And, but, a lot of times moms just kind of want to hear how it works and see the books and kind of see what it's all about before getting started. So I guess I'll share real quick. I did on the preschool scope, but for anyone who's new, that I got interested in Sonlight as a homeschool girl. When I was in high school, my mom started us on Sonlight, and we all fell in love with it. So from that moment on, I knew that if I ever homeschooled, that I would want to use Sonlight for my kids, and we have loved every single year. There have been ups and downs, of course, because you're always going to have those with homeschooling. But overall, we have fallen in love with these stories and the way they connect to geography, history. Some of these, especially in Core D or Core C, which we're just finishing, they have even tied in science to a lot of these read-aloud books we're doing. So we have just been loving it. I really think that if you read a good book and you can connect that with history. Aw, thank you, Angel. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that. But if you can make a connection through a story when you are reading these living books, which if you're, a Charlotte Mason homeschooler, you absolutely are always looking for good living books that are going to bring history, science, geography, all of that to life through a story. So, I don't know. I'm not sure. If you guys are just popping in, go ahead and just say your name and where you're from, and then maybe the ages of your kids. So, and please feel free the whole time I'm talking to ask questions, because we're going to be going through a lot of books. So, hi Emily, welcome. So yeah, we're going to be talking about Sonlight Core A today. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Whenever we thought about using another curriculum, I always just go back to why change what is working. My daughter struggles a lot with daydreaming and just the tendency to lack motivation for learning. This school year, we've made a huge turnaround with that. So, which I'll probably write a blog post about that now that I kind of see it resolving itself, because the way I finally got her inspired to do her own schoolwork was really unconventional and nothing I'd ever really heard of before. I just came up with it in a last minute, I can't take this anymore moment. Which, if we're all honest, we all have those moments of, I can't do this anymore. But it worked, so yeah, I'll probably have to write on that soon. I've heard of a lot of kids struggling to be motivated, but my other kids, they're a lot more motivated than she has just on their own, and they have adored all of the stories we've done. So they are already sitting here this afternoon as I have these books out looking through everything. So, Meltdown Central, right? Okay, no problem. Yeah, finish the replay. Awesome. Sorry, Angel. So, the one thing I'd say about the Core A is that we did not love the Bible that came with it. So, when we did this, we actually used the Jesus Storybook Bible, which I tried to find for the life of me before starting this, and we could not find it. So, and if you guys want to share this out, great ahead. I was just saying earlier, maybe just share it to your followers, and if you've checked your follower list, but not to Twitter, because it seems lately like we've just had a lot of trouble with spammers. So, no need to ruin a perfectly good scope. So, but we did this book, also as part of the Bible with Sonlight. I heard good news today. This book is just a bunch of short stories of missionaries, and they're all real quick reads. I mean, maybe it takes 3 or 4 minutes to read these stories. Lot of pictures. Sonlight Core A is geared toward ages 5 through 7. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Drive safe, yes. So it's the kindergarten core, geared ages 5 through 7. Now, Sonlight really is awesome about making every core so that you can combine multiple kids in each core. So you choose a core, and you can have kids, more than one age doing it. And then for the individual subjects, math, reading, language arts, science, you can have them work on their own. Yes, My Father's World. A lot of people go back and forth between My Father's World and Sonlight. My Father's World, it looks like, is a little more hands-on, so more crafts and all that stuff. I'm honestly not that mom. Like, if I'm going to do crafts, I want it to be like art curriculum, and I know I would do terrible with My Father's World, but the reading part, love. So there's going to be pros and cons to either one. But yes, so Sonlight Core A is geared toward ages 5 through 7. And then you can, like I said, you can pick for math, reading, language arts, and science. Even the science, you can really group a lot of grades together. I'm planning on doing that next year. I'm going to use Apologia. They have, workbooks that the kids can use and coloring books for little kids. So we're going to be using that next year so that all the kids can do one science. I have 4 kids, ages 8, 6, 4, and a 1-year-old. So anytime I can group kids together, and they can all get something out of it, that's what I'm going to do. So I heard good news today. Tons of missionary stories. Awesome. Lots of good conversations come from this. Sometimes I'd read it to my daughter and be a little bit shocked, like, oh my gosh, this is a lot for her, a little bit heavy. But I could not believe how good it was for her to start thinking about, you know, the world at a young age and, okay, how do other people live? It really gets them thinking about that. And what these missionaries go through and the sacrifices they make to spread the good news to the world. So also, the wonderful part about this is it ties geography in as much as possible. So while you're reading these stories, you're always looking on your map to see where the stories are that you're reading about. So you're getting to learn geography and history and Bible all rolled into one. Hooray. Awesome. And if you guys want to see any, again, too, just let me know. So, next. The Llama Who Had No Pajama. This is a poetry book. It is fantastic. This has wonderful pictures, beautiful poetry. I'll go ahead and show some of the pictures here. The other book that I don't have, but that is part of this, is a Mother Goose book. We're kind of going to be updating our curriculum, our Core A, because it's been 4 years, I think, since I last used this. 3 years. So there's a lot of new books this year. Some of them I have, some of them I don't have yet, but I am planning on getting the new information guide and the new books and updating my curriculum this year because a lot of them looked great. A lot of the books looked awesome. So here's another beautiful one. So yeah, for any of you who do poetry tea time like we do, what I would tend to do is not do a little bit of poetry every day, but I kind of save all the poetry for Tuesday. And then on Tuesday when we do poetry tea time, we really sit down and not only do we read some of our own that we've found or I've found, but also I'll do a week's worth of the Sonlight poems in one day. It really saves so much time. Or if you want, you can do it as part of morning time. So you're doing a little bit each day. So just depending on whatever works for your family. So now the other thing I was going to say is a lot of people are kind of like, oh, Sonlight is so expensive, you know, can't afford it. So there are a few things that I always say about that. One, most of these books are not consumable. So you can reuse them. So if you have more than one kid you're going to be teaching or using this for, totally worth it. So every year we have to buy curriculum for one kid. Then the other kids all go through the curriculum again later. Now this year they did make a lot of changes, so I'm having to add, I think I'm adding only 3 or 4 new chapter books. So $20, and I have the curriculum all updated. If you want to replace the information guide, then they will give it to you for half off. So you can get a new one, but you get it half off. They don't make you pay full price if you've already paid for it before. Another way is you can buy the books you use every day and the information guide, and then you can get the read-aloud books from the library, because usually there's only 3 or 4 books that are the main books that you read every single day. But then the read-aloud books you could easily get from the library. It might have to go every 2 or 3 weeks to get the new chapter book. So that's another really affordable way to do it. Or if you have a used book sale, you can go look at used book sales. And in my case, I have been able to find lots of the books at a used book sale. So these are the books that you would want to buy if you're using Core A. So these are the ones that you read out of every single day. So you would not want to get this from the library because you would be renewing it over and over again, having to put it back, get it back out again, way too much hassle. This is the Usborne Internet Linked Children's Encyclopedia. So much good stuff. So much. So in Core A, science is really just looped in. So you don't have to add science. It's really already there. Every day you read out of this book, you read a couple pages. This page is, about frogs, lizards, animals. This is an awesome book. You really go through very lightly every science topic you could think of. So here's the page on space. So I love this book. We've used this book even when we don't have to. My kids just sit and look through it. Deep space, or not deep space, wow, deep sea animals. So yeah. Also, the Usborne Book of Wild Places. This is another great one. This is one you would want to buy. You read out of this half the year, so you would want to buy this one. These books, that I'm showing right now, are not very expensive at all. I think these are maybe $12, and this one is, I think it's like $15. So you probably even find them used on Amazon. I find a lot of used books on Amazon. So here's a page about birds. And you really do the same thing with this. So as you read about other places in the world, you look it up on the map. So kids are getting to link, okay, the animals we're reading about live in South America. We're in South America. You're going to find all that out. So yeah, beautiful books. Then also, another one you would want to have, the Usborne Book of Living Long Ago. So this is going to be a lot of history. There's so much good information here. So much. Here's one about medieval times. So it's showing what life was like during those times, what the villages looked like, what kind of food they ate, how they cooked things. Here, it even shows a map right inside. It's showing around the world all the different food that people ate. Here's one about Egypt. So, yeah. So those are the 3 books that you would definitely want to have. Also, I heard Gnucity. Okay, so 4 books that you're going to read from pretty much every day. So that leads to read-aloud books. Who doesn't love a good list of read-aloud books? A lot of the ones in Core A are ones that you're going to see on a lot of lists, but some of them are ones I would have never heard about if it weren't for Sonlight. I would have never heard of them. So this one, I know this is popular, In Grandma's Attic. We have not read this one yet. This is a new Core A book. I just happen to have it. A friend lent it to me, and then I realized, oh, we're going to be reading that next year. Fantastic. So we're excited to read this for the very first time. The story of Dr. Dolittle. Aw, thanks for the heart, Emily. So this is like a common one a lot of homeschoolers probably read. As we went through this book, this brought up a lot of geography. A lot. Because, Dr. Dolittle is traveling the world, and so you get to go through a lot of different geographical landmarks. And there's a lot of animals in this book, so that kind of brings up a lot of cool discussions about animals. So love that one. Dolphin Adventure and Dolphin Treasure. These 2 books are, part of the same series. Now, I'm not going to lie, when I first saw these books on the list, I was like, those look so boring. How can those be on this list? They were great. My daughter was on the edge of her seat reading these. She did not want me to stop. So these were great. Mary on Horseback. I've never seen this on a book list ever, and I can never believe it because it was so good. This is the first Sonlight book that made me sob. Like, I'm trying to end school and I'm continuing to read this book because I need to find out what happens. I'm like, go watch a show. I need to read this as fast as possible. So, Mary on Horseback, awesome. Awesome book. Yeah, Hannah. Just a second. What? No, but that's okay. Okay, we're going to talk about it later, okay, Hannah? Yes. Okay. Sorry. Important questions to answer here. What, Hannah? Well, that's true, okay? But listen, Hannah, be nice. I'm not going to argue, okay? We are going to not argue, okay? All right. Okay, thank you. So here's a penny, another awesome story. This was really just like a good story. I remember having a lot of good laughs over this one. You're not going to learn a lot of geography reading this, but it was a good read. So, I mean, a lot of this I talked about in the preschool one. A lot of the preschool books are really, I mean, it's just about focusing on the relationship and making school a fun time of learning and inspiring their imaginations. I mean, in kindergarten, first grade, you are really still trying to build that in them. You want to light that fire. So a lot of it's going to be just sitting down and enjoying quality time together and reading some good stories.
Can you say what you're going to talk to Paul?
Later, okay? No Children, No Pets. This is another great book that I've never seen on a book list, and when we read it, I just could not believe how good it was. It was a great book. Yes, Hannah. Some good mornings end in crazy afternoons. It's funny. We had an unusually perfect homeschool morning. I mean, right? Homeschool moms are supposed to say all mornings are perfect, but we've had a lot of rough mornings lately. This morning was awesome. We're like reading out loud, the toddler's falling asleep in my arms, magical. Then somehow, after lunchtime, it all turns around. They're having an argument about whether or not cookies are healthy. Clearly, I'm doing a really good job. My Father's Dragon. Now, I've seen this everywhere. Oh wow, that's making my face super red. Woo. This is a great story. This is like as imaginative as a story can get. I could not believe some of the stuff you're reading in this book, and it is adored by children. They love it. So here's another one to just build their imagination. Yes, I think Jamie mentioned it at our little schoolhouse. Scholastic, they have this for $1 right now. So if you guys want to find this book super cheap, you can get it through Scholastic for $1. Yeah, I think you have to go to their website and you can find more out about that. But and you have to pay for shipping. But if you wanted, you could get a couple of extra for gifts. Oh yeah, sure, no problem. So this is a great book. Highly recommend. Now here's my book we struggled through. The House at Pooh Corner. This was hard to read out loud. I cannot lie about that. I heard a lot of moms say the same thing. So if you look through this and you're just like, okay, I don't want to struggle through reading it, you can always get the audiobook. Love this story. I mean, The House at Pooh Corner is a wonderful story. But for some reason, the language of the animals and just the way that the paragraphs can tend to run on for so long made it kind of a tough one to get through. So, meh. I'll never lie to you guys about how I feel about a book, ever. I will always tell the truth. Now, the question is, will I be doing it again with my 4- and 6-year-old? Probably. I probably will, but I think this time we will do the audiobook. I almost never do that. I read out loud everything, but next year I'm going to have a kid, or 3 kids and 2 cores, so we're going to have lots of reading to do every single day. The 100 Dresses. I cannot say enough good things about this book. This is a great book. A lot about bullying and the girl in this story just feeling very lonely and very excluded. This was a great book for us because my daughter has gone through a lot of feeling that way. she is very shy and very quiet, so it's very hard for her. I mean, she doesn't get picked on, but, you know, she isn't necessarily the kid that's sought out, you know, in class at church or the events we go to. She has to work really hard to make friends. So this was a great book. This really got a lot of good conversations going when we read this. So I highly recommend it, especially if you have a child that is shy or if you have a child that tends to pick on kids, because, you know, some of my kids are that kid. So when we read this, hopefully I can get some really good conversation out of it. The Boxcar Children. I mean, who hasn't heard of this, right? This is a great book, The Boxcar Children. I don't know if they changed this in the schedule for the new information guide, but in the one I have right now, you read this book first. So this is a great start to a school year. I mean, I don't think you could start the school year off with a better read aloud than The Boxcar Children. Love this book. A Grain of Rice. We never actually got to read this one last time we did Core A. So I'm looking forward to reading it again, or reading it this time with my other kids. And I mean, my 8-year-old's already like, hey, I want to hear these stories again, so make sure you don't read without me. So this is a really pretty small book. I'm not really sure why we didn't get to it last time. I think it was scheduled towards the end of the school year, which, you know, things just, right? The weather's nice. Really hard to concentrate on those last few weeks of school. 20 and 10. This is a great story. This is set during World War II, and it's a group of children that had been evacuated from the city who were living in an orphanage, and they harbored Jewish refugee children. Oh my goodness, this was so good. I will not give away the end, but this was definitely all of us sitting on the edge of our seats waiting to find out what was going to happen. We did not want to stop reading it. Awesome. Little House in the Big Woods. Most of us know this story. This is an awesome story. My daughter just finished reading it to herself again and is already excited to hear me read it to the younger kids. So, great book. Richard Scarry's Please and Thank You book. This is another great one. Lots of good pictures, lots of examples. This one's about a birthday party. So how to have etiquette and how to have manners. So yeah, this is awesome. Pig will and pig won't. Awesome. We always want to have the kids who say, I will, right? Nah, I won't. Every mother's dream. So yeah, that's another great one. Please and thank you book. This was definitely one of our favorites too. Johnny Appleseed. Not only is the story great, but the pictures are gorgeous. Beautiful illustrations. Wonderful. So, trying to make sure I have it in the screenshot of my phone. Some of the pictures are like covering 2 pages. So, beautiful book. And a great story. I had no idea how much of a story there was with Johnny Appleseed. I had no idea. So, wonderful. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and share real quick and show a few pages from the information guide. Because I think really what people wonder is, you know, how does it work? So, what will we be doing every day? What does a day look like? And that's going to depend, too, on what ages your kids are and what other subjects you have them working on. Because this is Bible, history, geography, reading. That's mainly what this is. So here's the map. I just wanted to show that too real quick. So this map is right in your information guide. It has all of the points that you're going to be reading about So when you are going through the book, oops, there, it'll tell you exactly where to go on your map. So then you have it right with you. So it's with, if you carry the information guide, I mean, some of us couch school, some of us table school, some of us carpet school, right? I mean, wherever is comfortable and whatever works. So you can, if you bring the information guide around the house with you, you've got the map with you. It's perfect. You can also get a markable map from Sonlight too, so you can write on the map with marker throughout the whole entire school year. So at the end of the school year, you can look at it and you see all of the places geographically you were able to learn about and study throughout the whole year. It's really pretty cool. So now honestly, some years we're better at that than others, but when we do it, it's awesome. And I'm forgetting too about timeline figures. So also there's timeline figures. So as you're going through these books and stories and history, the Bible, you have stickers that you can get from Sonlight with the timeline stuff on it. So you can put the stickers as you're reading about the people in history or periods of time in history, and you can apply it right to your timeline book, or you can make a timeline. So the first year we did this, that's what I did. I made a huge timeline with a big piece of paper, and we put it right on the wall. So we would apply the stickers right to our timeline, so they can see the flow of history. And honestly, you're really surprised when you go through it that way to see the Bible events and how those compare to the historical events. The overlapping that happens there is really surprising, and it gives you a different perspective on the biblical events. So here's the information guide. So you can kind of see, it tells you about each day. Now this is going to be changing too. Before you could get it with only 4 days, and now they're only doing 5-day curriculum. So the first day, you read a few pages from the Bible. There's also a CD you can get that you can memorize by scripture on. We don't memorize scripture that way. We use scripture cards. So I just do those with all my kids instead of individually, working on individual scripture passages. Way easier. But you read 2 pages from the Usborne Children's Linked Internet Linked Encyclopedia. Talk about it. Read 1 chapter from the Boxcar Children, and read 1 poem from the Llama Who Had No Pajama. So that's 1 day. It's really surprisingly very doable. Now, as that you go on to higher cores, you obviously do higher work. So and I like that part about it. It kind of gradually eases kids into more and more and more reading. So by the time my daughter will be starting, my oldest, Core D next year, she's used to sitting down and listening to me read for 45 minutes or an hour. Or as I become work on getting her more independent, she will sit down and read for 45 minutes or an hour. And they are able to concentrate and be attentive because not only are the stories good, but also it slowly works you in throughout the school year to do more advanced vocabulary and higher stories. So yeah, so that's what it looks like. I don't know if anyone's interested in seeing the Sonlight readers. I almost feel like I should just do another scope on that because this one's going kind of long. So if you guys want to see them right now, maybe just throw some hearts up there. Otherwise, I'll probably go ahead and just finish up here. I'm going to go ahead too and kind of tell you guys what the other books are that they added this year so that you guys just know what they are. So Adventures with Waffles, which looks super adorable. The Apple and the Arrow. I've seen that in a lot of lists. That looks like a good one. Cappy Bobby, which looks hilarious. Just look at the cover of that book and you'll want to read it. The Family Under the Bridge. That's another one I've been wanting to read for a very long time, so I'm excited about that. And Least of All, which I haven't heard much about that. So, curious about that. The girl in it is named Hannah, which that's the same name of my daughter, so she's going to be excited to read a book about another Hannah. So anyway, this has been great. I hope that it's been helpful to you guys. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to message me. Or, like I said, I wrote on the preschool curriculum. I'm not really sure if I'm going to do that for Core A. I might wait until we start Core A next year and then kind of write on my blog about it as we go along, because it has been so long since I've done it. I just kind of feel like I should wait until we're doing it again. But I'm really looking forward to writing more about Sonlight and doing more scopes on Sonlight, because I feel like there are a lot of misconceptions about it, and it's been such awesome curriculum for us that I'm just excited to share about it, and share frugal ways that you can do it. You do not have to buy everything from them. There are lots of ways you can work around that. So I want to give a shout out to Anna. Well, I feel like you can hardly see that, but so Anna's doing a 31 Reasons We Love Homeschool blog party. I can't remember what day we're on right now. I think the 13th day. But there has been so much good stuff. You guys have got to check it out. So www.theycallmeablessed.org. Lots of fun giveaways happening. So many giveaways. So go sign up for that. Check out some of these moms who have written about their favorite reason. Every day is, for the most part, a different reason. So, can you imagine? Out of all 31 of us, we all had to come up with a different reason. So it's kind of cool seeing what people come up with. A lot of them are brand new loves to me I've never even heard about. So please check that out. Thanks for joining me today. I do hope you guys, like I said, will, send me some messages if you have any questions, or if there's anything else you want to see, please just let me know, and I'd be really happy to do that. So everybody have a great afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your homeschool day. Bye.